Hi, everyone. Excuse me. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's having a great day. Lots of folks here today. I see some new names as well. Nice. Mary, Grendel, Belinda Believes, Donna, Ashlyn, The Pond, Betty, Katrina, Debbie, Tammy. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Somebody said there they like the, yeah, yep. Lilly&Jack. Sweet, sweet babies. I'm gonna start off reading that. You have a great intro. Excellent choice. Thanks, Katrina. It's actually a second one I had to do. The first one, I'm YouTube won't allow me to play it anymore, and I really sucks because I had put a lot of work into it too, and I paid for the program that the song comes from, so didn't think it was going to be an issue, but apparently it is. So, and then I made that one. So thanks for saying that. Yeah, so Lily and Jack were back here to talk about those two precious babies again today. I thought I would go over this. I meant to go over it on my last episode, and I actually forgot. Mary, finding solace, thanks. Thanks for being here from California. And Solace, thanks for being here. Damn it, I just exploded my coffee. Oh, yes, I've done that before. Yeah, that does suck when that happens. Yeah, so this is well, I'll read it to you and you'll see who it's from and what it's about. And then I thought we would go over the definition of an RCMP inspector before we take a look at Daniel's latest CBC media interview. And from there, there's a video I'd like to share with you guys. It popped up in my feed. It's funny how the algorithm picks up on certain things. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. And I checked it out, and the video, the information that came from it, it's just such a great description perfectly of a psychopath, the traits, and the channel itself is awesome. So I thought I would share that with you guys. It's a great channel. She's actually quite popular. She has over 1 million. I think she has 1.5 million subscribers. Of course, the name of it won't come to me right now, but when I look up in my history, it'll come up. Yeah. Just one second. RCMP. Yeah, the other day when I was on, I had stated, like when I had read, his name is Luke Rete, and I had read his title, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense to me now. He's the one who had asked the question. He's one of the dog handlers, right? But they're not just a dog handler, like that kind of takes away from their title. They still have their RCMP title, right, within the RCMP. Well, he is an inspector, so we'll take a look at what that entails. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for being here. And Cheryl, thanks. You just finished making clove water, did you? You got your name Mary there now. That's awesome. I have a turkey in the oven, and there'll be a second one going in after that. So, yeah, it takes me 3 days to make the meal, so I usually start today and then work my way to Sunday. I found the channel belonging to the analyst who analyzed D&M for RCMP. Oh, really? He was sure from day one, M&D did it, most deceptive interviews he has ever seen. Wow. What's the channel called? You can put that in the chat. We can pull that up and take a look too, if you want. I fixed it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, sounds delicious. Yeah, we'll probably have some turkey sandwiches tonight. Oh, and you made some yesterday, clove water. Cool. Uber Fuber. Okay. And it's on YouTube? I've never heard tell of it. That's a different name. Oh, did you? Finding Solace? Started watching it. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go over this quick. Some of you may have seen this on YouTube or, Facebook. I think I seen it on Kent's Facebook, maybe somebody's. And so I thought I would share it here. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to get my water already. Actually, I took my water with me today. I'll just have to open it. Okay, so plea for information. Help us find Jack and Lilly Sullivan. To our neighbors and anyone who may have been in the area, please read. Jack and Lilly Sullivan are missing. and their family needs answers. If you saw anything unusual, no matter how small it seemed at the time, you can help bring them home. And that's what I say. Like sometimes you have information and you don't even realize you do, because it may just seem so insignificant to you, or uh, sometimes you just don't realize it at all. And then something hits you and you go, oh my gosh, and you realize. So if, that happens, call your tip in to the RCMP or Crime Stoppers, not Daniel. In case you guys didn't pick up on that in the thumbnail. What we're asking for. Did you see any strange or unfamiliar vehicles parked or stopping on your street? Make, color, license plate, time. Did you notice anyone taking photos or video of houses, yards, pets, or children? Interesting, eh? That's good that they're putting that in there, because honestly, somebody could see that and not even think anything of it, right? As I just said up above, but they're pointing that stuff out that can make you think, right? Like, well, yeah, I did see that. Did a stranger approach a child or an adult in a park, driveway, or front yard? Now, there was that rumor of from down in the same neighborhood as where the kids lived, and I think it might have been down the road from them, that somebody had approached the kids that were out in the yard there and said they were looking for chickens. So whether that's true or not, I don't know that that's ever been confirmed, but I've heard it several times. Do you have security, dash cam, or doorbell footage from? Insert relevant date range. Even a few seconds could be important. Now, I believe what the relevant date to RCMP was Wednesday prior to the kids going missing. And then for the whole week of that, I believe, is how that went. Even a few seconds could be important. Do you have any other information, a memory, a sighting, a rumor, that might point us in the right direction? Lots of times rumors come true. So, and actually a lot of rumors in this case have come to, came true. A lot of things that because I don't repeat anything that I hear on here until I do have it as the fact. But there was a lot of things that were said so far in this case that have ended up being true. Please, every tip matters. Even something that feels unimportant might be the piece we need. How to share information. Call RCMP 902-896-5060. File number 2025-583-775. So that is Lilly&Jack Sullivan's file number. Prefer to stay anonymous? You can contact Crime Stoppers 1-800-222-8477 or tips at pleasebringmehome.com. If you post on social media, please include photos of Jack and Lily if you have them. And you can go to Belinda Gray's Facebook. She doesn't mind sharing those photos, and she's done up beautiful collages of the children and little videos where the pictures keep going, and she has tons of pictures. And of course, she doesn't mind because she wants their faces out there. Please include the date, time, of what you saw and the location if you share video or photos. Let me read that whole thing again. If you post on social media, please include photos of Jack and Lily, the date, time of what you saw, and the location. I think it'd be like how I do my things up on here, and I say the last time they were seen, the day they went missing, information like that, and the location. If you share video or photos, let us know the exact file timestamp. We will not judge. We only want answers, and that's the thing. These are two babies. It doesn't matter who a case is about, but these are two precious babies, right? So yeah, there'll be no judging. And if anyone feels afraid, even be honest about that. When you put your tip in, you go to RCMP. That'd be, probably a time that you should be going straight to the RCMP with your tip and explaining to them that you feel fearful and why. Yeah, but go put that tip in. Our team and the family are grateful for anything you can provide. Small details can solve a big puzzle. Thank you from the Sullivan and Gray family, and please bring me home. Isn't that sad? Thank you from the Sullivan and Gray family, and please bring me home. Chrissy Travers, investigative team member, please bring me home. So that's who that is. And we knew that they were going to be making contact with Belinda and whatnot. So welcome to everybody else that's come in. Truth be told, Wanods. Yeah, I know. Sad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's not just a dog handler. Truth and Beauty. Uber Fuber is on YouTube. Can't find it. Well, hopefully I can find it because it'd be interesting to check that out. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. From It really irked me last night when I don't watch. Irked me last night when DT claimed. Do I even want to read this? Because then I'm going to feel irked. Claimed that the cops supporting the family shows Daniel and Malaya. Oh, says Daniel and Malaya have been cleared. I said to him that they are talking about Belinda, not Dee, who is better daily. Yeah, it. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Hi, Nancy. Nancy Dar. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look now at who the inspector. So his name is Luc Rattay. I'll read what an inspector entails, and then we'll go over to the video of Daniel's interview. I know some of you guys have seen it, and I know some haven't. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, I guess I got to share that screen. I hope I get the same information off YouTube that I had on Google. Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah. I'll make that bigger for you. All right, maybe a little bit bigger. I can smell the smell of the turkey coming upstairs, guys. It smells so good. Okay, an RCMP inspector is a commissioned officer responsible for overseeing operations, managing personnel, and ensuring the effective enforcement of laws within their jurisdiction. Role and relationships, leadership, inspectors in the because Luke is an inspector. Luke, the dog handler, that is his title. Um, so when I read that, and he is the one who was asking Daniel the questions about the stove and whatnot, then that made sense to me. I was like, oh, well, geez, yeah, he's got all the right in the world to ask whatever questions he feels needs to be asked and go by his instincts that he's feeling picking up on. And so that, I mean, that tells a lot that he's asking those questions. So leadership inspectors in the RCMP play a crucial role in leading and managing police operations. They supervise constables and sergeants, ensuring that law enforcement activities are conducted effectively and in accordance with policies and regulations. So I'm pretty sure it was okay, Daniel. It was okay that he asked those questions. He's the guy that would know for sure. Welcome to everyone new coming in. Hi, Ginger. Thanks for being here. Ginger, I did get your email. I didn't get time to respond back to you, but I didn't see her newest video, but I do watch her videos. Yeah. Diamonds. Diamonds for DC. We'll just go with diamonds. Sue, hi Sue. Yeah. He got right rude about it too. He needs to realize a lot of us do backgrounds and education in criminal justice. Yeah, so I just find it funny that what Daniel's saying, he's actually talking to the guy that you would report something to if something wasn't being done right. This is the big cahoon. It just cracks me up. Sorry. Operational oversight. They are responsible for planning and executing various policing operations, including, I think I just read that. Did I? No. No. Just sounds the same. Various policing operations, including investigations, community policing initiatives, and emergency response strategies. Community engagement. Inspectors often engage with community members and stakeholders to foster positive relationships and address local safety concerns. Administrative duties. They handle administrative tasks, including budgeting, resource allocation, and performance evaluations of their team members. So there you go, right? Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give that background on that. Rank structure. The RCMP employs a structured ranking system that includes, I don't think we need to get into that. But I just wanted to go over that before we get into the video so that, yes, exactly, the pond. Oh, yeah, Ginger. Yeah, he triggered Daniel for sure. Yeah, and I mean, that can go either way because you're innocent or because you've done something, right? He definitely wanted to get a reaction out of him, and then he's able to evaluate that, right? Like, I wouldn't know how to evaluate that. I'm not a police officer or inspector of the RCMP, but he would know how to evaluate his reaction, right? That he got out of him. Uh, in my opinion, listening to Daniel speak about treasure map, I know, right? Old copper mines and Big Island need to be checked after another CBC. After another CBC Daniel interview, Big Island stands out. Yeah, yeah. In my opinion, that handler was a unique position in a yes, definitely. And you think he's not going to take advantage of it, right? For sure. Um, yep. In a unique position to ask him questions because he didn't need to maintain a rapport. 100%. 100% the pond. Um, yeah. Bobby Joe, hi. Thanks for being here. If there's anybody I missed, I apologize. Sharon, hi. Thanks for being here. I think I got everybody else. If I didn't, I apologize. Uh, Big Island's on the other side of the county, but it's on the side of the county where his father owns 100 acres of land, and it's an area that Daniel's used to, because he's spoke of it. There's a beach. The beach is there, and he has spoke to it. I was actually that's where my husband proposed to me, was on that beach. Um, so it's about 45 minutes from well, I say 45 minutes, but honestly, it wouldn't take that because nobody drives the speed limit, but yeah. In my opinion, the inspector is uh, discussed with Daniel. Yes. Yes. And I highly doubt he watched him once on the news, but I think that was intentional too, right? Because when people who uh, want to be in the limelight. And of course, guys, this is all exactly Mary, IMO, in my opinion, pure speculation and all allegedly. Okay. But people who want to be in the spotlight like that, how insulting that would be, right? That I've only ever watched you once there on the news. Um, in my opinion, suspects in an investigation use a variety of tactics, distraction tactics, to manipulate the situation, impede progress, and divert suspicion from themselves, right? And certain types of personalities are better at it than others, right? And we're going to get into that. And certainly not accusing Daniel of being anything, because I have no idea. I mean, I worked in mental health, and there's things I am definitely have a history in dealing with, um, and have some knowledge, but I can't diagnose anybody or anything like that. But I actually found this very interesting. I mean, this guy, he's an FBI profiler, and well, you guys just wait till you hear. You wait. Exactly, Nova. It was pretty clear from the dog conference that they were very well versed on the. Oh yes, they were versed on the case for sure. They're not here working directly on the case, right? And I shouldn't even use that, say directly, because I mean, doing the cadaver dogs and having a conversation with Daniel is directly, but on a day-to-day basis, right? Darewood, did you see what he said? Oh, I don't watch that for all those reasons right there. Yeah. Like, there's other shows that'll show clips of it, and I'll catch that. Ginger sent me one there. Somebody that had did a clip of it, and he did a really good job. Uh, Mike DeMann will do clips of it. Yeah. So, all right, now let's go to Daniel's interview. Was that 2 days ago? No, it's going. It's probably on Messenger. Or not Messenger, YouTube. You guys continue to chat there, and I'll look for that on YouTube. Bring it up. I probably have it in my history because I watched it there. That was yesterday that came out, wasn't it? My gosh, I get the days mixed up bad. Was that yesterday? Should be right there in my history, but I don't see it. Okay, CBC. Sorry, guys. I usually have this stuff already, but I was running a little behind today. I just noticed because the other videos are coming up there. That's the same t-shirt he had on in the other sit-down interview with CBC. There it is. Share screen. That's not the right one. Why is that on there? Weird. There we go.
The cadaver dogs or the human remains dogs were here recently. Walk me through that day. You knew that they were coming, you didn't know when.
I actually got back from a visit with my daughter, and I come home and the dogs were already, on scene, and they were there for about an hour before I got there. I didn't know the exact day when the arrival was going to happen. It was even a surprise to me, but at the end of the day, everything's ruled out there, and I hope this speculation, turns elsewhere.
So you arrive home after visiting with your daughter. They're there, and then what happens?
They're there, and then, I walk up, greet them, and meet them for the very first time. It's like, can I come close to you and the dogs? And he said, oh yeah. And then, investigators were there, or one investigator, and, had a conversation with him, and they said, look, yeah, we're going to do the property. I said, perfect, let's do every square inch. And that's when it began with, where do you think we should search? And in my mind, that's...
Now, in my opinion, That's a tactic. It's the same as asking him at the beginning of all of this, for him to sit down and map out where he thinks the kids, where Lily and Jack could be. That's been done over and over and over, and they keep that information. And they will search, in those areas as well. In my opinion, that's typical.
These guys are the best. They're supposed to be the best. They should have mapped the terrain, looked at satellite imagery, and found every single speck on that property
Mama
that needed to
G.
be searched. And they should have had, better coordination with reviewing those maps and people involved from the start with search and rescue to determine areas they need to search.
What happened? Did you tell them where to search or advise them, or what did you
Yeah, I
say?
gave them like any indication that, soft grounded areas like the marsh, the ponds, anything like
Yeah, did he say that part yet where, or she said
areas
it?
like the marsh, the ponds,
Struck me.
any indication that, soft grounded areas like the marsh, the ponds,
No, not
anything
yet.
like that. But I said, you're welcome to do it anywhere. They did inside the house, they did, everywhere, vehicles, they did everything they could in the amount of time that they were given to do it.
So what did they search when they came inside? How did that go?
Well, when they took the dogs like inside the house, they ran from one side of the house to the other, waiting for the dogs to, bark or pick up a scent, and nothing was located. Same with all the property. There was no indication of anything. They didn't do it once. They took in both dogs. They did the whole thing. They did like up the road. They did the blanket site. They did pipeline where the boot print was found. They exhausted every single area within Lansdowne.
Yeah, the pipeline trail right here where we're standing.
They did. They spent every hour they could searching, not planning or anything like that. They were boots on the ground, just doing whatever they could.
You were mentioning that you had a bit of a tense reaction with one of the dog handlers. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it was a little bit heartbreaking and saddening to hear what the words that came out of his mouth. And for me, all I was trying to do was ever help. That's all I've been doing is cooperating, and to see that and hear that, it was pretty saddening.
What did he say?
He said your Thursday and all the way leading into Friday morning, there's not enough detail. And I said to him that Thursday was just an ordinary day until I woke up on Friday morning. And that's when life changed. There was nothing like life changing on Thursday. It was a normal day. So
Yeah, so what Ginger said there, and I wanted to say and add to that as well. That is true, and only the dog handler knows the dog's trained signal. So and they're not always the same. So those two men that were there, each handler, each dog would have signals that handler would know. Daniel wouldn't know. Daniel wouldn't know. It could be that the dog bites his paw. I'm just being silly, but you know what I mean? Nobody else would know what that dog is signaling, and they definitely don't bark. That's TV stuff. That's the littlest hobo. Hi, Lori, and who else came in there? Lori? Just Lori, yep. Yeah, all great comments, guys. All great comments. Yeah. He's licking his lips a lot, too, I know. Definitely seems a lot more nervous. I know somebody said that. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Yes. Sharon. I reckon you're right. Diamonds, does anyone know if the children would have been placed on a tarp and carried off? would cadaver dogs be able to get a scent? Who would kids have to have been on the ground? Or would. Interesting question. Interesting question. It's not something that I know. But very interesting question. I know, littlest hobo. I liked him too. Yep. Down the road is where I'll always be. And every stop I make. Cadaver dogs on the Madeline McCann case barked when they hit on remains. Okay. They're all different. Yep. Yep. All right. Let's get back to the video.
So, therefore, there was nothing detailed that needed to be remembered that day until Friday morning.
So he was
That cracks me up that he says that. So, that who cares? Basically, who cares about Thursday? I don't have to remember anything about Thursday. So, but you still should remember it though, Daniel. You still should remember it. Just because it wasn't Friday when the kids went missing, you should still remember it. Yeah.
mentioning something along the lines of something happened Thursday night
Yeah.
and your story isn't matching up.
Yeah.
So I found that interesting that she said that, and your story isn't matching up. Like she's actually saying that. So either she feels like that because she's following stuff, or she's heard that somewhere right along the lines. And he says yes and agrees.
Well, it not just matching, it didn't have enough detail for him personally. And then that's when I asked him, do you know anything on the case? And he said, not really. I've seen you on the news once. And that kind of alarmed me, or, shocking, because you're having somebody that's trying to get you to admit to something and they don't know any details. So therefore, my Thursday didn't have any details. Your knowledge of the case didn't have any details.
Oh, he's seen him on there more than once. I'm sure that was intentional to get a reaction out of him again.
So you shouldn't try to force something on me without knowing any of the background.
Did he make any accusations at you?
Yeah, he did. He said that Thursday didn't have enough details and we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. And I asked him, like, what are you talking about? Like, I just ran through whole Thursday and Wednesday with you. Like, we just spent the last 20 minutes talking. And there's not enough detail because I thought it was an ordinary day. In the end, like, cadaver dogs were there. They went through, and the story continues.
So he's not denying there's not enough detail, because he's saying there's not enough detail because I just thought it was an ordinary day. So that's his reasoning. Isn't that pretty, the pictures? My husband took me for a nice drive through the back country, the old highway towards Cape Breton. And then we went to get something to eat there the other day. And oh my gosh, it's like that little mini trail, all the mountains. It was so beautiful, the colors. Yeah, so like he's not saying that's all the details, that's all there is. I have nothing more to tell you. He's, just saying that the details aren't in his head because, it wasn't an important day. It was just normal. But I mean, why wouldn't you remember Thursday? And I mean, these guys are young. He's in his early 30s, she's in her late 20s. I mean, come on, right? Like and Wednesday's just a mess for the two of them when you read the paperwork. Yeah.
In conclusion to all this,
I just want to hear the last thing. We'll go back a little bit.
in conclusion to all this, the last 20 minutes talking, and there's not enough detail because I thought it was an ordinary day. In the end, like, cadaver dogs were there, they went through, and the story continues. In conclusion to all this, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm still helping investigators at every turn we could possibly think of. And hopefully we see some kind of resolution soon, or some kind of outcome that's positive.
How's that communication in your relationship with RCMP now, 5 months later, and then given that interaction a few weeks ago?
At this point, I go to them. They don't ever come to me. It's just like I have to contact them. I have to go to them.
But Daniel's told us over and over, they give him a heads up. We just went through the messages from Susan on Hidden in the Fog, and right in those messages, he was saying how they'll contact him and give him a heads up on this and that, and but now he always flip-flops back and forth on that. Now he's back to they never contact him, and what he says in his interviews are always different than what he's putting out and people he communicates with. And yeah, exactly, Sue. Yep. And sometimes permanently, like even, when you come off that stuff and coming off of it, you're going to be messed up for a while. Like there's a recovery period, and it's a while. Like I'm going to say probably a good year. That recovery period. It's not instantaneous. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah. I've always heard Canada is beautiful. Since this case, I see it as it is absolutely beautiful. It is. My kids, both of them, have been right across all Canada driving. One hitchhiked, and hiked, a little bit of both. Yeah, is he helping or leading them astray? Exactly. But his helping is Cindy did it, Malaya did it, Haley did it, the reserve did it. I mean, no, that's not helping. In my opinion, the RCMP is working closely with the CPS, and knew D was at a visitation when they scheduled their search of his property. 100% my thought as well, Ginger. Absolutely. There's certainly stuff going on there, right? It's the same as the court cases being canceled there. Like the first time I was kind of like, okay, well that stuff happens, right? But then it happened again. And I don't know if it happened a third time. But yeah. He didn't like being questioned by the inspector. Oh boy, he did not. In my opinion, Daniel, what did y'all force on the kids? Yeah. Poor Lily and Jack. It's heartbreaking. Yeah. Novah, I agree. People on rugs sometimes don't remember the day before. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and the thing is, it's the two of them. It's not just him and her both. Daphne, hi. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it's both that have an issue with Wednesday. And like every time I think of that or go over it, I'm thinking, oh my God, like were they out of it with the kids in the car? Like, because they seem to have bought a lot of stuff, did stuff, right? And I'm just thinking, oh my God, I hope the two of them weren't out of it. But maybe it was him, all allegedly, right? All allegedly speculation. Maybe it was him and it was stressing her out, like, don't know, right? Like, and then of course that could cause her memory to have issues. Yeah, I know. Right on, Lori. Yeah, for sure. Hi, Brian. Belinda, I can't remember if I already said hi to you, Belinda believes. I'm sorry if I did. You guys know I have a bad short-term memory. Oh, Sue, did you? I worked in addictions for 20 years. I ran programs, and so many don't remember the things they do. Yeah, well, and that's what fears me with Daniel because, and I mean, that's a big thing with the math, right? That'll do that. And I fear, like, did something happen and he had some kind of psychotic blackout, or and RCMP are trying to work with him and keep talking with him like that and to try to bring him around. Like, I don't know, right? Like, but it's just something that has popped into my head for sure. I think I did miss somebody else back here. Nurse, 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 nurse somebody. Nurse Clancy, maybe. Did I see you there and didn't say hi? I'm going back to look. Maybe you're way back. Well, if you're here and I missed you, hello. Christina, I can't remember if I said hi to you or not. Yeah, aren't they pretty? Yeah, sometimes it depends on here what kind of weather we have. I was married 9 years ago on Thanksgiving Day, which is different every year. There she is. I thought I saw you. Um, and JDR, Brian, if I didn't say it already. Yeah, and it was 30 degrees out that day, and we had an absolute beautiful year, right, leading up into fall, and so there was hardly any colors that year. And of course, one of the things you want when you're being married that time of year are the colors. So I did find a spot that had a little bit of red leaves that had fallen for some of the pictures, but yeah, it was what a gorgeous year it was that year, and 30 degrees that day. It was gorgeous. All right, let's continue with Daniel here. Sorry, guys. I like to stop and chat with you too, though.
They don't ever come to me. It's just like I have to contact them, I have to go to them, and it's been like that for a little while now because I've given them so many leads and there's only so much I can do. I was told not to pursue any leads, so...
He was told not to pursue any leads. Yeah. Like Daniel really, and I talked about this in my last video, in my opinion, he has an issue with boundaries, and people who have issues with boundaries don't understand boundaries, that you're not leading this investigation. And we're going to get to what he says in the end. And I had to play that 3 times to go, am I hearing that correctly? Is he now telling people to reach out to him with tips? Again, boundaries, going to Patty's house, walking over to Malay and throwing mail in the back of the car. And there was something else he did there. He was spoken to twice regarding, being around Malaya when he's not supposed to. Yeah, there's big time issues boundary wise.
I'm not the one who's going to be going out there investigating.
Why do you pursue leads? Because you're still out there talking to people.
She's calling them out on it.
Finding out new details.
By pursuing leads, they mean if I have a lead, I don't track it down in person. But yeah, like, I'm still open to talk to the public. I have no fake accounts. I don't have anything that would be not under my name. Like, I go fully into every comment with my name present. So I have nothing to hide. People are free to message me whenever, and people are free to discuss anything they want with me. Any angle, any perspective that they have, I'm open to it. And I will pass it along to investigators if it's a solid perspective. Every tip matters. All 800 and almost 900 of them matter.
Do you find that engaging
Thanks
helps
for telling us that.
for you?
It doesn't help me mentally, that's for sure, but I still do it. I'm basically desensitized to all judgment at this point, so if anybody has anything, you can just come to me or...
Okay, guys. So that's why my thumbnail said, you saw the 2 check marks, right? Check mark RCMP. That's where you can put a tip in. Canada, oh my gosh, now my memory. Oh, I just read them on that poster. Crime Stoppers, .ca. It's actually .ns.ca. And the phone number, I read it out there at the beginning. And tips at pleasebringmehome.com, who, work in conjunction with the other 2 programs. Please, 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 I encourage you, if you have a tip, please don't reach out to Daniel. Please, please. That's just my thoughts on that. Okay? And I had to play that 3 times because I was like, oh my God, is he now telling people to contact him with their tips? And I mean, that's bad in many ways, of course, right? We don't know Daniel's mindset. We know what we're seeing, and it makes you kind of go, but I mean, my goodness, that could be dangerous for the person on the other end of that tip or the person being discussed in a tip. And not to mention that obviously the people working on the case should be the ones that the tip goes through, and those who work in conjunction with the RCMP, which is not Daniel. Oh, no. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we know you have. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. See, Daphne, it's no big deal. And here I was talking away and going, yeah, sure, Daniel. I'm sorry. It's because I put the picture of the kids up there. Let's do that again. Bring Daniel back up. And I'll rewind a little bit.
You can go to major crimes, you can go to your local police department, they'll pass along tips, or Crime Stoppers. Because this
That's right. That's who you go to, not Daniel.
whole situation has drug on for way too long, and it's absolutely destroying everyone involved.
So what does this tell you now that the cadaver dogs were in, they didn't find anything? Do you think like the part on the woods, do you think that's case closed?
It should be case closed. It should have been case closed from the very start. Because with the amount of resources and technology and amount of searchers and everyone deployed in that first initial search, that was a lot. That was an 8-kilometer radius outwards. And it's just the amount of money and people's time, injuries that were sustained during that, it's just, people should have just opened their eyes to see that we need to look elsewhere. I pointed many fingers, and I think that's where the people should look.
Oh yeah, we know you
Not
did.
here.
Not here.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the woods. If
Mm-hmm.
fingers have been pointed, let's start taking a look.
Exactly.
What's going through your mind as you see their
Yeah.
picture every day still?
It's just heartbreaking to know that 5 months have passed and school started, the summer ended. Like, this should be a chance for kids to be interacting and doing kid things, enjoying their lives as kids. You know, like, it's not just all the kids that miss them from school and community, and, you know, at this point, the whole country that, you know they're missing. It's just like, I have kids too that know that they're missing too. And like, that's heartbreaking for them. Like, Meadow doesn't understand, but one day she will. And she knows that Dad spoke up for Jack and Lily when no one else would.
Dogs that are trained.
Yeah. Yeah, Ginger, exactly. Because, you know, that's where the kids went missing from. But, you know, the police shouldn't be paying any attention to anything there. Basically, case closed, because the other places he's pointing the fingers, well, we know that's just all, that doesn't even fit. It doesn't work. It just is not possible. And they would not be putting all that money and resources into that area where the kids went missing if they thought it was possible. And in the last press conference where McCann is speaking, it specifically says in the written part of the article, they actually added it. Instead of saying this time no abduction, they actually added by stranger or known abductor. So, yeah, yeah. Lots of good comments, guys. That's awesome. Yeah. So Daniel thinks he speaks for the RCMP now. Yep, apparently. Apparently so. Uh-huh. I'm gonna bring that picture up just 1 second, guys. Sometimes it's hard to make out on the thumbnail because there's writing over it. So, yeah. So, the Lilly&Jack, who and who not to submit a tip to. So RCMP, check. Crimestoppers.ns.ca, check. Daniel X, no. No, 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 no. Yeah. I wonder why Daniel can't see his other kids, though. Yeah, with supervision, because apparently his wife was advised to by her lawyer not to. And I'm sure she doesn't want to. I sure as heck wouldn't. That's sad for his kids not knowing what happened and why they can't go see their dad. Now, yeah, well, they know that the kids are missing, but I mean, it is sad for those kids. I agree, but I don't know if I 100% that believe that Daniel feels heartache over that. I feel like he repeats things that he hears, and I said that way, 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 way back early. Hi, CB. You passed the exam. I don't know what exam it was, but congratulations. Any exam being passed is awesome. Good for you. Yay. Yay for CB. Oh, wrong one. Do 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 do. Congratulations, CB. Yeah. When they get down to my tip, case solved. Let's hope, let's hope, let's hope. Yep, let's hope. Yeah. The exam of who to tell my tip to. Oh, okay. Daphne, that is a good question. What was her question? Did I miss it or did I put it up already? Oh, about the kids. Yeah, 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 yeah. Any wise lawyer and any wise mother would definitely advise that, eh? Yeah. Yeah, injury sustained. So how did two kids achieve? Right, exactly, Lori. Exactly. Kind of hard to believe, isn't it? Okay, so I read that already. I'm not as far behind as I usually get. Yeah. In my opinion, the pond, if he didn't pay his child support, he would lose rights to see them. Hard to say. They're not really that strict around here. I went through the whole child support thing when my kids were younger, and I mean, maybe it's different now. My kids are in their 30s now, but the whole taking your license away and restricting the kids from seeing them, which I would never let happen anyways, because kids don't understand that, and you can't sit little kids down. So I would never do that or go to court and fight for that. Each parent is different, but um, yeah, maybe things are different now. Oh yeah, yeah. In my opinion, upon if he, oh, sorry, I already read that. Um, yeah, CB, if you want to share your tip. And the only thing is, when you share a tip, it's the tip has already been submitted. We don't need 1,000 other people calling that same tip in. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yep, that's exactly what they do. Yep. And from unemployment as well. Yep. All right. I'm going to. Okay, what was the name of that show? Hi, Tony. Great show, Novah. My children's dad still could have visitation. Yeah, said two different things. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Uber Fuber? Do we want to go there first and check that and look for that? I've never heard tell of that channel. Uber Fuber. See, Uber. Hmm. Okay, Uber Fuber. There it is. Does it show a picture of a guy with braids in his hair? Oh yeah, that must be it. There it is. What from 1 month ago? Deep dive into interview of Malaya Brooks Murray and Daniel Martel. Our little Scottish girl, Chris and Deb, Emmanuel Harrow. Um, spotting manipulative, abusive, psychopaths. Hmm. It should be, yeah, A Medieval Night. Yep. I think you should watch that privately first. Oh, okay. Okay. Yep, I will. Yep. And maybe on another show we'll go into it. So I will go over to now the other show about the psychopaths. And that is Lisa Bilyeu. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Lisa Bilyeu. And I hope I don't get dung because I've never used anything of hers before. So guys, this is a really good channel. So it's called I should actually, yeah, take that out so you guys can see the name of it. So he's the FBI profiler. 1 in 20 people are psychopaths. Wow. Here's how to spot them early, especially if dating. So she does a lot of stuff for women to educate women, and of course it could be men too. But historically we know women, right? And the show itself is just called her name, Lisa Bilyeu. In case you guys have not heard of it before. Yeah, so let's listen to what he says. So full credit goes to Lisa Bilyeu, and she has 1.5 million subscribers. Just 1 second, I gotta check the sound. There we go.
Show called Am I Dating a Serial Killer?
Yeah. Immediately tried to isolate her.
What on earth did you see that her and most of us women end up missing?
Well, this woman was dating a guy who almost immediately tried to isolate her and keep her away from her family and friends, who was overly nice about making sure that she never had to want for anything. In fact, he would drive her and pick her up from work. He would take her to the store. He did everything for her, which on the surface sounds, wow, this guy really cares. But what he was doing was he was taking away her ability to drive, her ability to have relationships outside of his, her ability to interact with her family. He paid for her phone, so he had control over the records, so he could determine who she called and when she called and how much time she spent on it. And as she started describing things like this, immediately I said,
the control of the phone is big, 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 especially now that the cell phones are out. What a downfall for women, anyone. And I hate that I keep saying women. It's just because statistically, right, we know that. Yeah. So now that kind of is a downfall, the whole cell phone thing. Yeah.
That's coercive control. It can be incredibly insidious, but it's a pattern of behavior that typically is used by an intimate partner or family member to control, manipulate, coerce, isolate, and basically prevent their partner from having any autonomy at all. And what ends up happening is they have complete control over that person's life and is almost like a captive slave. And
although, we can see that Daniel doesn't have much of anything at all, we know in his mindset that he thought that because he made that statement, right? How he was giving her everything. Cindy wouldn't let her have anything or do anything, and he changed her whole world and gave her everything, and we were kind of chuckling at that, going, like what, you know? So yeah, so it made me think of that. And again, not saying that that's the case with Daniel. I'm not here to diagnose anybody. It's just when you see certain things that you've already, you've studied on, up on and stuff like that, and you're seeing certain things, you're like, oh gosh. And when I clicked on this, I was like, oh, that explains it so perfect. Yeah.
And what she came to us to talk about was the fact that at times he seemed to sort of get very angry about things that she didn't anticipate he would get angry about. And yes, those were little red flags, but she did try to paint in her own mind all of the things that turned out to be controlling as, well, he just cares. Well, it's just his love, because this is what he's explaining to her. I do this because I love you. And although it may really feed someone's ego, and especially if they've had negative experiences and relationships in the past, to have somebody say such nice things and do such nice things, that seems amazing. But those are real red flags. And eventually, as I started interacting with this woman on the show and explaining this to her, she had aha moments. And eventually they realize, wow, this is a really bad relationship. So what you have to do is listen to your instincts. There's a great book by Gavin de Becker. It's called The Gift of Fear. And fear is a gift when it protects you from.
And I don't know if you guys have heard me say that on my show over and over, because in nursing, you're taught that. Listen to that gut. It's your brain telling you something. And it's one of the things that will help you as a nurse in preventing errors, right? But yeah, and he's talking about that.
Impending danger. And your intuition is nothing more than your subconscious doing all the calculations for you at an incredibly rapid speed. And that means your subconscious is at least 200 million times faster than your conscious mind. And if you listen to it, it gives you warnings, like the hair standing up on your arms or the back of your neck, or a weird feeling in your gut. And those things are warning systems, right?
And I'm not going to lie, I've had that feeling with Daniel, with some of the stuff I watch with him, just watching him, not even being around him or having lived with him, just watching and hearing the stuff that he does and says. And I get that real icky, fearful feeling, like, oh my gosh, like what is going on here?
So Gavin de Becker in his book talks about a guy's about to jump on her. She punches him, crunched on some very light, because it is our own internal safety system. It is our own.
Says something to me. I think in my head what that would mean if I. And I think that that's where a lot of us women may get trapped.
Kind and giving, right? They see those traits. People who get taken advantage. Right. Well, I'm sorry.
No, please, no, jump in.
No, you're saying the things that are absolutely true. The fact is, women sometimes blame themselves when they get taken advantage of. No, it is good people who get taken advantage of, who are nice and polite and kind and
Naive.
giving, right? They see those traits as a big target, and that's what they aim for. But the fact that you would fall for that means that you're honest. You don't deceive other people. You are kind and giving and caring, and so you expect that from others. However, it's not always true. And so there are things that
And that makes you naive to all that as well. And that's where my mind has always gone with this case. Like uh, I've pictured that more of with Malaya, and where when you're in that position and you're more of a kind person, and introverted and quiet and naive, just as he explained it there. And that's always how I've kind of saw Malaya and Daniel, in my opinion, just speculating from everything that I have seen. Yeah, and I've always wondered, is that what's going on here?
you really need to do to avoid that.
I think that is so important. Thank you for echoing it. I once interviewed Dr. Ramani, who's like one of my favorite humans. She's a psychologist that really specializes in narcissism. And I remember her telling me a story. She's like, oh, if you want to see if someone's a narcissist or not, make them sit in economy, but have them pass first class. And she says, that will trigger a narcissist because they realize they're lower, right? Like from a financial standpoint, and it could really irritate them. It's just one of those very subtle signs that maybe we don't think about, but that could be a sign. And you actually talk about Dr. Hare's psychopathy checklist.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, one of the things is, as a woman, or just in general, I should say, we can't control other people. I wish I could, Jim. I wish. But we all
Are
know.
you a psychopath?
But we know
Exactly,
we can't.
Ginger.
So I go to, how can we teach people to take their power, to really assess in their lives, whether they go on a date, whether it's their partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a boss,
All right, let's get
considered
to
a
it.
psychopath.
Yeah. Psychopathy checklist. There's 20 attributes. And if the person that you're evaluating has none of this attribute, then you put 0. If they have a little of it, then you put 1. And if they have it in great quantity, put 2. And then you add up the score. The first one is glibness and superficial charm. Now, this is something that love bombers use to their advantage. They're basically smooth talking, they're very engaging, they're very slick, they know, they come off as completely confident, they have absolutely no self-confidence issues at all, and they're effective at it. They make people around them feel better or feel like they are with somebody who's important, all right?
How do you know the difference between glibness and charm versus just a guy that's confident? Like, I think of my husband as being confident. All right, we'll be right back, guys, with Gin Clemente. But just for a moment, I want to ask you if this or
In any situation, anytime, there it is, okay? So
all right,
be careful if you're, yes, you have a balance, it's back and relax.
build your confidence. This is the community that will have your back no matter what. So smash that subscribe button. Thanks for listening. Now back to the episode.
And I did subscribe,
Yeah,
guys. It's
well,
a great channel.
Are there
Great
situations
channel.
where he just sits back and relaxes and doesn't have to be sort of the star of the show or have the spotlight on him? Those are situations where you have a balanced, normal personality. Because let's say the pilot dies on the plane. They wouldn't be very confident about getting up there and flying the plane, would they? No, but a psychopath would. Absolutely.
Daniel would.
I've known psychopaths who've convinced pilots to let them fly a plane.
Who believes Daniel would think that he could fly the plane? Put 1 in the chat for yes, 2 for no. Yeah, I love her accent too. Who thinks Daniel would believe that he could try to fly the plane? Yeah. Yeah. Novah, I did too until I heard what she has done to Patty. Yeah, but the thing is we don't know the whole full story on that too, because I can tell you I used to be lumped in with things that my husband did that I had nothing to do with. And there was fights behind closed doors because of things that he did money-wise that had nothing to do with me, that I would never do. But then it's made out to be you as well. And not saying that so, because we have no idea, but just seeing the pattern here and knowing things I went through myself, then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is that what she was going through too? Or was she actually a part of all that as well? Like, it's just unknown. Yeah, allegedly, Dee said to M would be forced to get a job now that the children, yeah, and was kind of like glouting, yeah. That too was a red flag, yeah. Was there resentment because he had to work? Yeah, because they typically want, and they want, their money is their money and your money is their money. Yeah, and that's how that goes. Yeah. Oh, the question, Lori. He's going through the 1 to 20 list of giving it. I don't think they started the list yet, but he's saying traits of a psychopath, and he's saying they would be the type of person, if something happened to the pilot, like let's say he took a heart attack, they would be the person that would think they could take control of that situation and attempt to they could land the plane, right? The psychopath would believe that. And so I was laughing and saying, okay, well, who thinks Daniel would think that he could land the plane, right? If you do, put a 1 in the chat. Because Daniel thinks he can diagnose, autism, baby blues, he can man the RCMP. What else? Everything. There's nothing he can't do. He's super Dan. Yes. Was there any pressure from Dee to use Patty as a finance? Yeah. M seems like the type to cave in under pressure. Exactly. Yeah. Or did she even know? Maybe she didn't even know. Like, who knows? Because there was times she was going to leave him, right? And I imagine many of those times were because certain things were happening, right? That she was like, all right, no, you've gone too far this time. I'm out of here. And then he does the whole, buttering her up. What is the name of the channel? Lisa Bilyeu, Bilyeu. And her first name's Lisa. Said on DT last night that Patty and he have been close for many years. He said that, and that theft stuff never happened. Well, yeah, nothing's happened, allegedly, in my opinion. Hearsay, speculation for entertainment. CV. Angelina. Hi, Novah, and everyone else here from Ontario, Canada. Well, thank you for being here. Yeah. Oh, Deerwood said. Deerwood. Yeah. 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 Do you think he knows how to organize a dog search? Yeah. Better than the RCMP. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And where they should be looking. And yeah. Yep. Hi, Jules. I can understand if Malaya had a bad childhood, then get into a relationship with Cody and it went downhill, then met another guy. That's the typical pattern. That wasn't good with children. Then Daniel, who probably played along. Yeah. All right, let's go back to this because I want wait till you guys when he gets right into it.
Yes, absolutely. So it's just that is something that in any situation, anytime, there it is. Okay, so
all right,
be careful if you run into that.
That's really clear. Thank you, because again, I want to make sure that we're not just labeling everyone as a psychopath, but really understanding
So that's what he was talking about there, that every time, any situation, they can control anything, right? Like they can be the RCMP, he can be the doctor, he can be the dog handler, he can be the what else? Whatever, right? Ginger, you know the list. My memory escapes me now, but we know, right? The way Daniel is.
And in the nuance of this,
Sure.
The educator.
so okay, very
All
clear.
right. So the next is grandiose self-worth. All right. Greatly inflated idea of who they are. And they like to tell people about it. And they are incredibly good at selling themselves.
I was running faster than the helicopter. Right? We could go on and on and on, but I'll just throw that one out there.
So it's not just the confidence, but it is, I am the best. I've always been the best. Everybody says I'm the best. Arrogance is a good.
I'm the one doing everything. He even said it in that interview we just did. I'm the only one speaking out for Lilly and Jack. Yeah.
Way to put it.
All right.
So the third one is a big one, pathological lying. And this is something that it's sort of a spectrum where they can be.
What about it, guys? Does Daniel have that trait? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe Daniel has that trait. We're not saying he's a psychopath. We're just saying it's something that we've noticed, a trait of Daniel's. All right, on to the next one. Or he's going to talk about that, I
Be
guess.
sly and crafty, but they can also go to extremely deceptive and deceitful and basically being underhanded with other people and taking advantage. So that pathological lying, you know, there are people who just, it's just easier for me to say something that isn't true, so I don't have to explain myself, so I don't have to worry about this and that. That's one on the sort of the low end of it, but then there's the aggressive form of it where they're literally trying to take advantage of people all the time by lying, misrepresenting what's going on and so forth.
And that's exactly like when I listened to this, I was like, oh my gosh, even stuff I didn't even realize, like that I see in Daniel, right? And I can go back to my videos and actually pull all that out where I say that about him, and where I say like he tends to he repeats what other people are saying because he doesn't know what to say. So he just takes what somebody else is saying and uses it in a situation. Like I could go back and pull all that stuff out that I've been saying up till now is standing out to me. And then I listen to this and I'm like, oh my gosh.
So the next one is cunning and manipulative, and that's using deceit, deception to cheat other people, all right, to manipulate people into a situation where that's not good for them, but it's good for you. And that's pretty clear. The next one is a lack of remorse or guilt. Now, psychopaths will feel concern for their own losses. In other words, if you wreck my car and I'm a psychopath, that is going to concern me. But if I drive my car over a little kitten, well, the kitten was there and I was driving, so it shouldn't have been there. And they have absolutely no concern. It doesn't compute.
Okay. So is that not kind of what he just did with Malaya, right? About parking beside her. That was the other thing. Taking the mail over to her car because he didn't want to pass her inside where she would have felt probably more secure and less fearful to just pass by him and not even look his way. But he comes right out beside her outside while she's at the trunk of her car. And then the parking beside her, right? He's just describing that, what he did there. Well, that, you know, there was nowhere else to park and she happened to be parked there. Like, what's a guy to do, right? Like, yeah.
Cute for them. They don't feel guilty about doing something that hurts somebody or something else. As long as it doesn't hurt them, they have no emotional reaction to it. It's literally just something that happened. So shallow affect or emotional poverty, and this means that they have a very limited range in terms of the emotions that they will express or feel. So you're not going to get a feeling of deep emotional response to anything. Now, smart psychopaths see it in others and can mimic it. So you have to watch that. All right.
And I always felt that with Daniel. Like I got to go back and pick out the video where I said that, because it was very clear to me that he was mimicking stuff that other people were saying. Even right down to, you know, it was Malaya who noticed the kids were gone and had concern, had, you know, those true feelings that you would have to not hear the children. And then he placed himself in that, right? To make it look like he was the one who was having that concern and fear of that you can't hear the kids. Yeah. In my opinion, guys.
Right. But they don't have a really true emotional response. So, for example, if you're watching a movie and, you know, Bambi dies, they may see that everybody else is like tearing up and they may mimic it, but in a heartbeat, their emotion will be gone because it's not real. So seeing that kind of response in a person, that should be a red flag.
So the emotional response is more like a light switch than like a dimmer.
Yes, there you go. Okay, so lack of empathy. This is basically the hallmark of psychopathy. And that is the inability to put themselves in somebody else's position and understand and appreciate their perspective and their suffering. They simply look at it as, well, they shouldn't feel that way. Or, well, that's not really important. There's a person who's been involved in the news lately a lot, who is very, very wealthy, who has recently been sort of canceled in a lot of ways and is feeling the effects, personal effects of that cancellation.
Does his name rhyme with Liddy? People at home that don't know, I just want to
I didn't
you're
get
so
this
sweet.
far into
I
it.
love
That's
that
funny.
you never want
Diddy.
to name people because you're like, I don't ever want to give them an ounce of credibility or
Right.
celebrity, and you focus on the victim more than you do the perpetrator.
Oh, yeah.
So people may not know that, which is why maybe
Yeah.
you're not saying the name.
But when there are people who have gotten away with it for a long time, for
Ginger,
example,
yes.
and then they feel that they have become the subject of ridicule, attacks, they literally respond by talking about how hurt they are by it.
Okay, guys, put a 1 in the chat if that sounds like Daniel. I'll take it back and play it again in case you didn't hear it.
Want to give them an ounce of credibility or
Listen,
celebrity,
listen.
and you focus on the victim more than you do the perpetrator.
Oh, yeah.
So people may not know that, which is why maybe
Yeah.
you're not saying the name.
But when there are people who have gotten away with it for a long time, for example, and then they feel that they have become the subject of ridicule, attacks, they literally respond by talking about how hurt they are by it. And that is a sign of a psychopath. In other words, there is no question that they are incapable of seeing harm to other people as important. But you do the slightest thing to them and it becomes an outrage. So
You're so right. Just to give a little context, when I saw the person that rhymes with Liddy, his video where he's apologizing, he's outraged of how appalled he is. Nothing to do with the victim.
Right.
Not 1 ounce of remorse
because
or
the victim didn't mean anything to him, or the victim's suffering didn't mean anything to him. or both.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes right into the 8th characteristic, which is fails to accept responsibility for their own actions. They deny that they did anything wrong, or they attempt to place blame outside of them. And you're not going to ever see this person say, I was wrong. I did something bad, and I'm going to take responsibility for it. I should.
And I said that. I said, if Daniel could say, I was wrong, I shouldn't have said this and that, and it was because of this and that, and I'm sorry, and my head's on a little bit straighter now. No, none of that. In fact, he's still writing to Sonny and saying to Sonny that he's done nothing wrong. People are out to get him. And this is just recent, within the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, there's another one in the chat.
I own up to it. I should be punished. I should be the one who pays for this.
And hi to new folks coming in there. Allison. Who else? Did somebody else come in? Troodles, hi. Can't remember if you were already in here. Jules. Yeah, and if I missed anybody, I apologize.
They just don't see it that way. They'll find a way to blame somebody else and, basically manipulate the situation or the person into taking responsibility.
If you'd seen some with characteristics and then all of a sudden you saw them, you're like, okay, let's say right now they're scoring an 18. You're like, oh, they're very close to being a psychopath. And then they take responsibility for something. Would you take it at face value, or would there be any questioning on them taking the responsibility because they know it's a tactic where they can divert your attention?
Right, exactly. So if they then use it to manipulate, well, I said I was sorry, so now you have to. If they use it that way, then yeah, that's another red flag.
You'd have to see
Big red flag.
action with it
so
as
the next
well.
one is, and this is a really big one, they need stimulation. They get bored very easily. They like excitement. They'll be the ones who are jumping out of airplanes and getting on jet skis, and they always have people around. They're fun to be around because they're so exciting and they love to do these things.
Taking math, taking that math. Yeah.
They're thrill
Fun.
seekers. Why is that? Because, look, they're the most important thing on the planet, right? And they want to feel all this excitement, and they like to bring people around who look up to them, who basically treat them like they're something special.
I got a question. So you like the thrill seekers, they skydive, all of this stuff. Do they get joy in seeing other people fearful during these thrilling moments?
Well, yeah, it's a thrill for them to create a situation where somebody else is going through anxiety and they're not feeling it at all, right? So the 10th one is parasitic lifestyle. And this is basically selfish and manipulative, taking advantage of other people to basically depending on them financially, manipulating other people. There was a show a couple of years.
There we go with the financial part of it. Osprey, yes. Yeah, that's why I had to share it with you guys, because I was just like, oh my gosh, wow. Lori, she's just automatically putting the ones in there now. Yeah. Playing Pokemon Go. Yeah. I wonder if the RCMP behavioral team recognized this. Well, exactly, early on. And that is why M has been so quiet and kept away from D, allegedly, in my opinion. And I agree, Ginger. I do. I really do. That's what I've always felt. Well, I mean, early in the beginning, I didn't. But then quickly after, and I had said early on, okay, let's pay attention to Daniel, because Daniel likes to talk. Like, he is spilling the tea. He's spilling the whole pot of tea. The whole kitchen sink is overflowing when it comes to him. So let's pay attention to him and see where this takes us. And here we are. Yeah. we certainly didn't come out of the gate thinking these things. It was by paying attention to what was being stated by him, what is still being stated in the behavior. And again, this is all allegedly speculation and in our opinions, guys. We're not here to diagnose anybody. That's not our place. But we're just paying attention to what's being said. And I've felt that fearful feeling just watching and hearing and learning things about Daniel. And then, like I said, I've been picking up on a lot of stuff. And then I watched this video there, I think it was a couple days ago, and I was like, woo, wow. Always saying he was running in circles. Yeah, looking for Lilly&Jack and just exhausted. He says, yeah, and he was the only one. He's the only one. He loved the thrill, yeah, and he was probably on the math too. And very deceptive in his search efforts. Descriptive, yeah. Yeah. Boy, this sounds very familiar, doesn't it, Allison? Mm-hmm. Ginger, no order to stay away in place. Yeah, I wanted to go back to that. I think about that too, Mary, if that's what was happening. He's now admitted that, Bilyeu was wanting to leave, where earlier on it was, no, everything's great, everything was fine and dandy, nothing to see here. And we know that's not a good situation, right? For the partner who's trying to leave the person who is controlling or has these traits, right? Not good. Yeah, I was married to a man. Hi, Amethyst. Thanks for being here. I love the picture of, excuse me, the Afghan in your picture there. It looks like crochet work. I was married to a man that is being described perfectly by this in every way described. The excitement was found through cheating, yep, and creating drama for others, yep. Same with my ex. I haven't been the same woman since. Well, I have recovered. I have a great man in my life now. I love him so, so much, and he has shown me how an awesome man who can treat a woman so perfect and beautifully. And that's helped fix me. I will say that. He's a wonderful man. I just can't even express it enough. And because of that, he's been my medicine. Yeah. Great show, Novah. I love your channel. Thank you so much for doing this for Lilly&Jack. You're welcome, and thank you for saying that. And I mean, besides, pointing out these traits and someone who is surrounded by this case, around this case, it's educating other people as well to watch out for these traits, and, statistically, it's women, and lots of times young, naive women with children who are, their minds are busy, their lives are busy, and then the next thing you know, here comes this monster swooping in and creating this havoc, right? That you become accustomed to over time and don't even realize how bad the craziness is that you're in amongst. Yeah. JDR 100%. Yeah.
Years ago about a social media fraudster.
Is this the Tinder swindler?
It is.
Oh, you're not naming it. I was like, oh, I know that person. Oh, damn it.
Yes.
Damn it, I missed that one.
But you're right. No, it's okay. But yes, and he has used that moniker to his advantage, by the way, and he continues to do what he was doing. But basically,
he still continues now?
Of course he does.
He's not arrested?
He got arrested, but that didn't stop him. He's not in jail forever. He was arrested and released. But the fact is that what he would do was he would trick somebody into a situation where, oh, look, my mother, she passed away and I'm getting this inheritance and I really want to do this deal, but if you could just lend me this money and I'll give you when I get the inheritance, and then they get the check and then they ghost that person, right? So this is how he gets money from women. And then he uses that money to lure the next one and the next one and the next one. It's just a Ponzi scheme.
I noticed that too, Osprey. A lot of people have. I noticed, picked up on that. I don't know why. Or just doesn't own a lot of clothing. But he had the exact same outfit on as the CBC sit-down interview, as he did in that interview. But maybe it means nothing. Maybe it means something. I don't know. The duper's delight is very obvious in these interviews. Yes. Yep. Clothing they were wearing involved in the crime as trophies. It's possible. I miss some of my son keep phoning when I'm listening. I'm way behind. Well, the good thing is you can listen later and check that channel out, guys. I'll say the name of it again when we're done here. Yeah, exactly. You never know, right? You never know. You don't just you don't know how minds, especially when they're different
And it's
like that.
horrific, but he's glib and superficial charm.
He wants
them
to keep
trust
getting on
him.
with the list.
He's a pathological
He's like,
liar.
all right,
he
let's
gets them
move on.
to give him money with the hopes of getting more back, and then they never get it, and it's just an unending stream of these unfortunate victims that he takes advantage of. So
sorry to interrupt, but the one thing that I realized that he did, it would trick me, Jim. It would absolutely trick me if I was in a scenario where I was dating this guy and oh my God, he seems lovely and he's taking me on all these trips and he seems so sweet and genuine, and then he sends me a photo and he's bleeding and him and his body.
I don't care about that.
Natalie Holloway, and on the
that guy was that guy there.
For example. It is one of the characteristics of a psychopath. And, for example, Jorn van der Sloot, he most likely killed Natalie Holloway.
Yeah.
And on the 5-year anniversary, apparently the girl that he was dating at the time found out who he was, and he killed her in a hotel room. And within seconds, he walked outside out the hotel room with 2 empty coffee cups to go get coffee for the both of them. And then when he came back, he, quote, discovered that she had been killed. Well, what he didn't realize was that there was a camera right outside his door and nobody else went in or out. Most human beings, if they killed somebody, they get so outraged that they killed somebody, they would have a long recovery period. It would take them a long time before they could think rationally, what am I going to do? Oh my God, But for him, it was like, okay, that happened. Next, I'll set up my alibi. Okay, let's do it. And the emotion is gone, all right? And that's something that is a real big red flag.
And the sneakiness of, if I walk out with 2 cups, I can pretend that no, she wanted a cup of coffee.
Yes, of
she was
course.
fine before
She
I
asked me to go.
Right. It's I think it was the docu-series Don't Fuck with Cats, where they had that CCTV camera where it's like he takes a guy in and he's wearing the yellow shirt, and then he comes back out. Clearly he's already killed him, and he's wearing the guy's yellow shirt.
Yeah.
And this was almost one of the biggest slaps in the face, if I can be honest, for me, of the naive person that I can be, where I'm like, how can a human do that? Where you just realize he's killed the person. He's taken the t-shirt, he wears the t-shirt, he walks in the lobby and he stops at the mirror and just checks his hair.
Oh, God. Amethyst, sorry you went through that, but very proud of you for being brave and being brave to share that as well. Thank you. Amethyst girl, that must have been, so darn difficult, especially when you have children, and sad. So happy you got away from him. Good job. Yep. Good job is right. And you protected your children and you get out of there.
Yeah. To think that you can be that
and excitement. They're impulsive, they don't plan well, they react, and again, that need for stimulation causes them to constantly look for something new.
Coming up.
When you have a weak and insecure male, constantly look for something new.
I'm quite surprised by that one, actually, because I kind of think... Cheers.
They're impulsive, they don't plan well, they react, and again, that need for stimulation causes them to constantly look for something new.
I'm quite surprised by that one, actually, because I kind of think of psychopaths as being very controlling. So if they're controlling, they want to control every situation.
Well, they can be very controlling, but this is more in terms of how they think and plan in their lives, okay? So they can be very manipulative, but it sort of comes natural. They don't have to, they see the situation, they quickly think, this is what I'm gonna do, and they'll lie and lie and lie to cover it up.
In my experience, they're procrastinators, which causes chaos and being disorganized. Hi, Sasha. Thanks for being here. I find it odd that Malaya's friend put that pick up yes at the beach when saying Malaya living best life she can. Well, it was definitely to irritate Daniel, I would say. She knew that was a damaging thing to do. Yep. But the urge to poke at Daniel took over. I agree. I am and was then a professional woman with 3 degrees and thought I was smarter than that. Yeah, but it can happen. You know, being intelligent and being just a kind, innocent, and naive to that craziness is 2 different things, you know? Yeah. It took years to overcome with hours and hours of therapy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree too. Hi, Wolf. Thanks for being here. Hello. Some are very organized. That's what's scary. Yeah. Some DV survivors who have broken free from a narcissist sociopath feel like their identity is shattered and broken. It takes them many months to make sense of what happened to them. Yep. Absolutely, Ginger. Long time for healing. Betty, yes, then Wade telling a stranger tint everything. Another odd thing, yes. I found that odd too, yep. I'm so proud of you, Amethyst, for seeking all the help to better your life. You are a strong lady, 100%. Yep. Koberger, yep. It took the victim to battle. It took the victim to battle to really get the guy. Yep. Yeah, everybody is proud of Amethyst girl because that's tough. Yep. Mary. Interesting thought, eh? Yeah. He wanted to be a suspect, but wanted to thwart the police. Extremely organized. Yeah. Betty the Haley saying she never seen anything wrong with the kids, but she hasn't seen them for, yeah, exactly, 2 years. They were all pretty much out of their lives for
to make it happen,
for 2 years.
to manipulate, but they won't sit down and have a thoughtful session in their own minds about, okay, this is my goal, I need to do this to get there. They'll just basically say, well, I need money, so I'm going to do this right now.
Right.
They're irresponsible.
Sounds about right.
They don't honor any commitments or obligations that they have to other people. And again, they give them freely. Oh, don't worry, I'll pay this, I'll do that, I'll take you here, I'll pay you back, whatever, all those things to them.
I'll clean the house for you. But I'm not really. Not really going to do it.
Those are just words that are necessary to manipulate somebody else to get what they wanted from them. And then once that's done, it's out of their minds.
So you can basically see whether they follow through or not.
Oh yeah, well, that would be one thing to check on.
And that's just to get her to in bed and asleep, right? Like, I'll clean the house for you. I'll do the dishes, Malay. I'll take care of all that. You go off to bed, right? Hurry up and get to sleep now, because I need to do what I want to do. And I need you asleep so I can do it.
All right. Typically, they have the next two, 15 and 16, they're juvenile delinquency. In other words, they got in trouble with the law, and their behavioral problems start generally when they're 13. They're basically unacceptable behaviors. In other words, it doesn't have to be criminal, but criminal is one thing, one aspect, and non-criminal, unacceptable behavior in their teen years is also another.
Now, that's one thing I don't think we really know anything about. We do know that he got in some trouble there with some rugs there one point early on, but then the charges were dropped. And a friend of his was charged, and I wonder if that was the same circumstances, and somehow Daniel ended up having those charges dropped, which I could see him being able to get out of. Yeah.
And then if they have been incarcerated, number 17 is revocation of conditional release. In other words, they get out early, they're going to break the rules because the rules don't apply to them, because they're better than everybody else, they're smarter than everybody else. It was only a mistake or an unfortunate accident that they got caught. They really don't have to follow the rules. 18 is promiscuity. In other words, they will jump from sexual relationship to sexual relationship.
Now, Sunny mentioned something about that when I was listening to her this morning, saying, I don't know what it is she knows, but there's something she knows. And because, that's not something we would know of him. But Sunny actually mentioned something last night there, coincidentally. Hi, CB. Or Seawood, sorry. Thanks for popping in. Yeah. He is an FBI profiler, and he's highly trained in the traits of the psychopath, so he's going over the list. You need to go back and listen later. You need to go back and listen. Yeah. Daniel, quote, he has no judgment anymore. Interesting. So no conscience or what? I don't know. Help me out. Who knows? Because that could have changed from yesterday to today. Yeah, I wouldn't take anything he says with any type of sincerity. That's for sure. I have heard DM hooked up with another girl. Seawood. Yeah. That's the channel, Seawood, and everyone else. That is the channel. Excellent channel. Check it out. Full credit to her channel. That's the name of the channel. It's excellent channel. Hi, Kent. Thanks for being here. Yeah. No judgment reference to himself, so he doesn't care what he did or does. Shared conscience, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Might not be here long because I got to make other phone calls. But yeah, well, thanks for popping in. We're over 2 hours in now. We're going to be done here soon. But nice seeing you. Nice having you pop in. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you. Awesome mod. All right, so we'll go back to this.
They're not really discriminatory in terms of their sexual partners. And number 19 is many short-term marital relationships. Now, this is one that I've talked to Dr. Hare about maybe changing because marriage isn't as common and these days, but he explains that it's sort of a higher level of non-committal commitments. In other words, they make the commitment to stay with somebody, to marry somebody, and then they just get out of it. And then the 20th is criminal versatility. They commit a lot of crimes, and it could be fraud, it could be stealing, it could be assault, it could be sexual assault, it could be murder. But generally, it is a number of things. Again, the rules do not apply to them. They are.
And we already know that because we know, of course, the vehicle road rules don't apply. The whole issues with the credit cards. I think there's probably a lot of stuff that, in my opinion, totally speculating, that may have taken place that there was never any charges, or you know what I mean, didn't end up going as far as it could have. And of course, Janie mentioned stuff missing off the property, and that was, and I'm airy quoting, the neighbor. But who's to say? So there's certainly things there that shows a disrespect for the rules of the, the law. Yeah. What do you mean about credit card? You'd have to go back and, kind of get up to date on the whole case, but there was rumored, allegedly, let's say allegedly, that there was some issues there with usage of the Malaya's grandmother's credit card. Actually, that came from Wade, Malaya's stepfather. So we'll say allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. All of the above, sir, in regards to Daniel Martel, facts, no speculation, meaning these things occurred while he was in the picture, but not prior in Ms. Brooks' life. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm very up to date. Oh, good. Okay. Patty's grandmother with permission. Well, what is stated in the documents was with permission, but there's stuff that happened prior to that Wade talks about on those tapes. I'm pretty sure it was on the Wade tapes that it was mentioned. And again, that's allegedly, right? Like, we don't know if that's facts or not, right? It's all allegedly. Might not be true, could be true, don't know, but we definitely know, the rules of the road not following, petty thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hearsay. Exactly. And that's why we say allegedly, right? Same thing, hearsay, allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the end of that list, guys. Yeah. So lots of similarities there. And again, we're not here to diagnose or anything like that. It's just stuff that many of us are picking up on. Like I said, I just watched this 2 days ago, and I can go back in my videos and pull out the things that I was saying. Geez, I noticed this about Daniel, or I noticed this about Daniel, in my opinion, and just speculating here and there and this, and it lines up with the stuff that he was saying, some of it almost word for word. It's just scary. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, with permission. That's on the docs dump. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But there was, even before those documents come out, the documents have nothing to do with it. That's a whole different thing. Prior to those documents even coming out and anybody knowing that the card was used Wednesday night, it was already stated by Wade, that there was some issues going on there. And again, I do say it is hearsay. Beyond whispers is correct. It's hearsay and allegedly, because we don't know if any of that is 100% facts, right? Yeah, did somebody say there's something going on there, some kind of update? Somebody was saying something? Was it Wolf? Yeah. Yeah, Wolf, spill the tea, spill the tea. Come on. Uh, Thank you for all your work. It was nicely organized. Great job. Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you. I feel like I'm getting a little better at this, so it's really nice to hear that. Thank you. When I first come on doing this, holy heavens. Yeah, because you're trying to figure out StreamYard, and yeah, and I still have boo-boos here. Always will. I'm getting a new camera for my birthday from my husband. It's going to be a good one that, you know, will set up nicer than the cheap one I have here. And then I think I'm going to do on camera at least once a week. So not every day, because it's better for me to do it this way because of my back issues. I can have my feet propped up in the heating pad on my back and get up and stretch when I have to. And you guys don't even know any of that's going on. But with my new camera, I can come on at least once or twice a week, depending on how I feel. So I think that'll be nice. Yeah. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for being here. Both Cheryls. No big deal, Cheryl. Thanks for being here. You can always go back and watch from the beginning. Whose birthday is it? Did I miss something? Kent said lots going on. Yeah, I know. I saw Kent say that. And Wolf said something there too. Whose birthday? Did I miss something? Whose birthday? What's going on in Pictou? Yeah. Well, I'm here and I didn't hear anything, but Kent and Wolf, you guys better start spilling the beans here. I want the beans spilled. I want the tea spilled. I want the kettle. I want the kitchen sink. I want everything spilt right now. Come on. Oh, my birthday. Yeah, my birthday's on the 29th. The same day as Jack's. Yep. My birthday's on the same day. Oh, because I said, yeah, I'm getting the camera for my birthday. Sorry, yeah, but it's not until the 29th. Yeah, same day as Jackie boys. Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, even with my short-term memory, I'll never. So much misinfo and rumors. There is CB, and that's why I really try to stick to facts or say it's allegedly, because it came from Wade or whatever. And I think that's good when someone does that in chat as well, right? Because sometimes you forget to say allegedly or whatever. So if someone wants to pop up and say like, a reminder, that's good. That video could be AI generated for all we know. Someone said in a chat that Darewood was staying with D and M, and that before that, that Tim was staying there. Yeah, I know. I heard all that too, but I don't. I don't believe that. I'd have to have proof. Yeah, but I agree. You don't know, right? I know. Isn't that nice of him to do that and buy me the camera? Novah, I agree. Stick with facts. Yeah, not hearsay or second hand news that grows arms and legs. Exactly. Or state that it's hearsay. it shouldn't be stated like it's a fact, for sure. We wants the beans, can't. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I've decided to get right off of YouTube and social media because it is what it is doing to me. Yeah, and the thing is, if that's the case, because it's called triggering, right? So if it's triggering for you and it's messing with your head, CB, that's the right thing to do. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't do Facebook ever. I never do that. And like people will say to me, "Oh, did you see this on Facebook and read?" No, I don't go on there and do that. I don't. The odd time I might respond to like my sister might put a picture of the dog and I'll say, "Oh my gosh, he has the blue eyes, they're beautiful," or something like that, but that's it. And that's very rare. Yeah. The whole Facebook thing is horrible, horrible, horrible. And even on here on the YouTube, I've set certain standards and I follow them. I don't get into all that gossip. And if somebody comes in here and says something nasty, you're gone. You can have so many tries because it's all supposed to be adults on this channel. So if you're coming in and acting like you're, 5 years old, then you shouldn't be here. And that's all there is to it. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I think Kent sent Dee a text message, so I wonder if he got an answer from him. Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Malaya had permission to use her grandmother's credit card. Exactly. We sometimes do that for our kids and grandkids. Exactly. And like when Wade said that, I thought that too, right? That could be the circumstances. We don't know. And yeah, you just don't know. I try to avoid the D circus. Yeah, I keep going back to the RCMP pressers and docs. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Lori. Yeah. 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 He won't want to cheat on Sonny, right? Yeah. Uh Nova, we all love you. You are so amazing at this. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I try to keep it, neat and tidy and clean. And I don't mind if someone calls me out, comes out of the bushes and says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa now." That could be pure gossip or hearsay. Don't make it sound like it's so. I don't mind that. Yeah, justice for Lily and Jack will come soon. My gosh, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. I don't understand why anyone bothers contacting Daniel. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Wolf and Kent just come in here to stir things up and then they took off. Little buggers. He's still here. I like this room, adults and calmness. Yeah. 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 So Wolf, what are you hearing? Tell us what you're hearing. Are you hearing you got some kind of scoop there you're wanting to share? If you want to come on, and talk, I'll let you come on and talk. Sounds like something's going on. Yeah, I think Kent's gone. Guys, thanks very much. That's nice to hear because that's positive feedback, right? It's good to hear positive feedback, and it's good to have constructive criticism as well. I think Lily's birthday's in March. Why do I have that in my head? Does anybody remember? feel like it's March something. Because I feel like I remember Belinda saying something about she was gonna go to Lily's birthday in March or something like that, and but I could be wrong. Hi, Lynn. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, someday. Jack's special people were born on October 29th. Oh, thank you. I always forget that it's my birthday as it's coming up. Because I just wasn't into like the whole birthday thing and having parties. And no, I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. I know. Yeah, I know you didn't. Belinda believes you are so very welcome. Hope you get answers for Lilly&Jack. Yeah. Yeah. Kent said he was going to have to take a phone call. Yes. Yeah, that's where he is. Yeah. Roostrin, I hope they can lay them to rest. Exactly. Exactly. And that little fella Darius too, that's a sin as well. I hope they find him, so they're allowing the public to go out and look for him. That's where that is at this point. Yeah. So there's a lot more water around there though, and rapid rivers. So yeah. Yeah, so you remember March as well. Yeah. Okay, so Sue's saying March 22nd. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good, I'm shy. Yeah. Yeah. What a nightmare. Where are these children exactly? What the heck is going on? Jesus. Yeah. I know. I know. Beyond the whispers, I'm not Belinda, the children's grandmother, just in case you thought I was. Yes. Yeah. I had to make that correction one other time, but Belinda Gray spells her name with the Y. Yeah. So that's the difference. Yeah. And it actually says Belinda Gray beyond the whispers. Like if she, because she does come in here. She actually has her last name too in her picture, so you'll know for sure that it is her. Yeah. Hi, Robin. Oh, did I think you were? I'm sorry. I assumed. There's always a possibility they were passed off at the pipeline for money. Oh gosh, don't say that. Oh, maybe they are alive. The mother wanted an Amber Alert. Yeah. That's my only thought on that, is that you don't immediately start asking for an Amber Alert, which she did, because, and we can see in that message from Cindy was telling her, ask them for an Amber Alert. But I mean, you're not going to do that and push for it and put it out on Facebook and do all that if something like that was set up, because now you're sending the police in that direction, right? Like it wouldn't really make sense. That was my only thought on that. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, you can definitely tell she has a beautiful soul. Yeah. And yeah, and just the pictures of her with the children, and you can tell for sure. It's very sad. Yeah. 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 Exactly. Hurts your brain and your heart. Yep. Novah, your channel is honestly not gossip, good or hearsay. Well done, onwards and upwards. Well, thank you, Lori. Yeah. Okay, there's Lily. Yep, March 22nd. And Jack, October 29th. And, I don't want to say hers. Yeah. Yeah. Question: if RCMP say dogs didn't find remains, is it still possible that the dogs hit on something? Well, that's interesting. Good question. Because I don't think they would tell us if they did. I definitely don't think they would tell us if they did, because that would just be, that would be laying your whole deck out, I think. And I said deck, DECK, not with an I. Your whole deck of cards, right? Like, yeah, that would be big. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone, because I probably won't be on again till after Thanksgiving. Yes, yeah, yeah. What a beautiful, beautiful lady for sure, heart and soul. Yeah. Who are all these neighbors and every one of Daniel's acquaintances and friends? Who's Edmund? Who called into Dolly Vision? A friend of Daniel's? Anyone catch the ferry? Friday or Saturday morning? Yep, all good questions. Edmund he worked with. The one who called in at Dolly's is Darren Getty's son, who he also worked with. Yeah. Important update at 5 p.m. Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh, on the Facebook group. Okay. Which Facebook group, Wolf? Oh, this has to do with the this has to do with this, doesn't it? I betcha. Bring me home, I bet ya. Because I this morning, what's her name? Tinkerbell? She has the KFC bucket. Hi, Vicky. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Yeah, dogs could have hit on scent of death. Yeah. But couldn't find the remains. I never thought of that. Very good question. Good thinking out of the box, outside the box. Yeah. That is what was posted on, focused on bringing Jilly and Jack, Lily and Jack home, Facebook group. Okay. See, I'm not on there. So what time is it now? 4:28. Yep. Yes, it's I'm not sure where you are, but it's 4:30 here right now, Christina. Yep. Yep, Darren Getty's son. I think his name was Justin, wasn't he? He has two sons, but I thought it was the one that called him. I think his name was Justin. Who is he? And who's Darewood is Darren. Bring them back in and seize their digital equipment immediately. Well, you never know, do you? You never know. Yeah, using that critical thinking, Nova, in my opinion. Yep. Thinking outside the box. Yep. Jordan. Thank you, Wolf. Jordan. Yep. Yep. Oh, you're 3:30 there, are you, Bonnie? Hi, Bonnie. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. But I do have to say goodbye, guys, because it's been 2.5 hours. And thank you so much for spending 2.5 hours with me. And it was nice, really nice. Good show today. Good time spent with you guys in the chat. I like conversing with you guys in the chat. Yeah. Not just coming on here and going on a spiel. Yeah. All right, guys. Lots of love, lots of positive vibes. My hubby just brought me a new electric turkey. Oh, nice. I looked at one of those before, but they're expensive. I gave the last one away. So he went and got you another one. Isn't he a nice hubby? All right, everybody to Facebook now. Bonnie, you can still go back to the beginning. It'll still be on my channel. Anybody that missed anything, yeah, you can go back to the beginning. Yep. All right, guys. Lots of love, lots of positive vibes. Everybody head over to Facebook for 5 o'clock to see what's going on, I guess. I'll have to go check it out too. Oh, Nova. Thank you, CB. Nova, there are at least 2 new articles right now about Belinda asking the RCMP to share more details. Or something to that effect. Okay, Sunny, I heard Sunny say that's coming. Yeah, the asking for that. Now, whether it's going to happen, who knows? Fingers crossed if it can happen without tampering, without interfering with the case. Yeah. Yes, everyone, happy Thanksgiving. Here in Canada, in the US, it's not until November, I think. Yeah. All right. Bye. I'll see you again. Take care. Here comes the little cutie pie. A little bit of happiness on the way out the door after such deep discussions.